Hey, what's going on? So the star of Apple's WWDC keynote was iOS 7. Apple is calling it the biggest change to iOS since the initial release of iOS. And there are some pretty big changes coming. In the first part of this video, I'm going to go over some of the major system-wide changes that you'll see in iOS. Then in the second half, I'll break it down between some of the new app updates that they've updated in iOS, and some new apps even coming to iOS as well. So overall, throughout the system, all the icons are getting a new look, a fresher, new but familiar look. A new color palette has been designed. There's going to be transparency throughout the entire operating system. There's even going to be use of the accelerometer in your iPhone, so that when you tilt the screen, the icons will move along with the tilting of the screen. So you'll even be able to see kind of behind the icons a little bit and get a better angle look at the background on your phone. Another new feature that you will see within iOS 7 is going to be Control Center. Control Center is going to be where all your settings, your preferences are going to be controlled. And my favorite part about Control Center is that they have a built-in flashlight now, so you'll no longer need to have a dedicated app to access a flashlight. Apple has also updated Notification Center in iOS, a much more smoother, sleeker look to go along with the transparency throughout the phone. You'll be able to see your notifications for the day, all your notifications, or notifications you may have missed. Multitasking throughout iOS is going to get a lot better with iOS 7. You'll no longer just have your apps along the bottom of the screen. You'll now be able to see the entire app window running right in front of you, and you'll be able to just kind of check off the apps that you don't want running anymore through multitasking in iOS 7. So it's going to be much more efficient, much more smoother to operate. Some of the apps that Apple has given minor updates to in iOS 7 are going to be Safari, Mail, and the Weather app. All of these apps have been given minor enhancements to make them look better, flow more smoothly, just sort of redesigns, retweaks to make them go along with the new operating system. With Weather, you have sort of different icons for the weather, better weather images for like thunder, lightning, snow. Apple has really added pretty cool weather effects to the Weather app. With Safari, you just have more smoother browsing. Apple says it's more full screen, or it appeals more full screen. And with Mail, you'll just be able to organize, delete, and just have a better control over your mailbox with iOS 7. Some of the applications that are going to be getting a little bit bigger updates in iOS 7 are going to be the camera application, the photo application, and Siri. The camera application, you'll now be able to swipe pretty smoothly between the different types of cameras you have available to you on your iPhone device, whether you're using a cropped camera image, the standard camera image, video camera, or your panorama camera. You'll be able to swipe and switch between those cameras much more easily. Also, you'll be able to add some camera filters to right after you've taken your photos. You'll be able to add a filter right on top of that photo you've taken. I believe this feature is only going to be available on iPhone 5 though. With the Photos application, Apple has updated it so it's now much easier to organize all your photos. You'll be able to look at them from years apart. Now in a year's view, they'll be organized closer together. And in that year view, you'll even be able to zoom in and take a look at what photos were taken within that year. With the Siri update to iOS 7, you'll now be able to choose between a new female voice or now even a male voice. For me, I'll probably just stick with the girl voice because, you know, I like girls, so I'll stick with that. Some of the new applications that are going to be coming to iOS 7 are going to be iTunes Radio and AirDrop. With AirDrop, it's pretty much Apple's answer to NFC and what the Galaxy S4 does with kind of tapping your phones together and then sharing stuff. But with AirDrop, there's going to be no need for tapping. You'll just be able to share files and photos and information between phones, just as long as that iOS device is somewhere near you. Apple hasn't really said how close you have to be to them, but as long as they're somewhere within the vicinity, I guess you should be able to share information with that phone through AirDrop. With iTunes Radio, it's pretty much Apple's answer to Pandora. They will have their own radio station. It will have ads on it. Unless you are an iTunes Match subscriber, then that service will come ad-free. And so with iTunes Radio, you will be able to pretty much select different stations, get a view of different music depending on what your interests are, and then you'll be able to buy songs straight from the radio app from the iTunes store as well. So there have been a lot of new updates to iOS 7. It does look like a new operating system, but it is very familiar. So if you do pick up any iOS device running iOS 7, you should be able to use it right away. It should be pretty easy to use because Apple is sticking with the familiarity that it has always done with iOS 7, but this is definitely probably the biggest change since the original iOS was launched. I think it's going to be a great operating system. I think a lot of people are going to like it. I really like it. I like a lot of the new settings features and control center that they have added, and the ease of use with the camera application I think is a great addition. AirDrop is also going to be great as well. And so I think overall this is going to be a great iOS update for all the iPhones and iPads out there. I think Apple is definitely going in the right direction with this update, enhancing multitasking as well as enhancing your overall experience on your iOS device. So if you like this video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up if you really liked it. And if you really enjoy my videos, go ahead and check out my channel and please subscribe. And thanks for watching this video, and stay tuned for the next one.